When John finally arrived at his mountain cabin for the weekend, all he wanted was peace and quiet. He had inherited the property years ago, a small but cozy log cabin tucked deep in the valley. The fresh air, the tall pines, and the sound of the nearby stream were exactly what he needed after a long work week. But shortly after settling in, a sharp knock rattled his front door. Standing outside was a woman he didn't recognize, arms crossed and voice sharp. She introduced herself as the HOA president, Karen. Without hesitation, she demanded to know why John was trespassing in her community. John calmly explained that this was his family's cabin, and had been for decades. Karen wasn't having it. She insisted that the HOA controlled the valley, and that he had no right to stay. When John politely refused to leave, she grew louder, threatening to call 911 if he didn't pack up immediately. Minutes later, red and blue lights flickered through the trees as two officers arrived. Karen wasted no time pointing at John, accusing him of unlawfully occupying restricted property. The officers asked John for proof of ownership. Without missing a beat, John walked inside and returned with a folder of documents, his deed, property survey, and even a map. The officers studied the paperwork carefully. To Karen's shock, not only did John own the cabin, he owned the entire valley. Every trail, every tree, every cabin plot technically belonged to him. The HOA had no jurisdiction whatsoever. The officers turned to Karen, explaining that she had overstepped. Flustered, she mumbled excuses before storming off down the dirt road. John, on the other hand, couldn't help but smile. His quiet weekend had started with unexpected drama, but it ended with a newfound appreciation for his little valley paradise. Sometimes, the best revenge was simply standing your ground, with the truth on your side.